Hello Libra, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that Ace of Wands. This is powerful. This is really you. I think you've got a lot of kind of innate creativity. I think you're the kind of person that, I feel like you always have the good idea, you know. I feel that you're a very spontaneous person. I feel you're very creative. I feel like you're very energetic. I feel like you're, with your friends or your family, like you're the one that says, hey, come on, let's go do something. You know, let's go have fun. Let's go challenge ourselves. Let's go bungee jumping or skydiving or something like that, right? Maybe you're a little bit of the daredevil of your friends. But I feel like I almost feel like you're a really young soul. Do you know what I mean? I feel that you have just this excitement to be alive sometimes. It just comes through in your energy as someone that isn't like wearied by life yet, you know, somebody that just has this almost the energy of a child, you know. There's somebody who's just so wide-eyed and curious about the world, so excited, and just you wake up in the morning, I feel like you just spring out of bed and you just cannot wait to face the day. You know, it's not always like that, not always. Sometimes it is, and those days are the best days. Right, and maybe it's a seasonal thing for you, right? Maybe, you know, spring, summer, those are the days. We just can't wait to get up and do something because we know there's going to be some sort of adventure today. We don't know what it is. You know, it might not be all, you know, rainbows and ice cream and stuff, but it's going to be an adventure. And I feel that you're the kind of person that doesn't want to just go somewhere to like a resort or something on vacation. You want to go like deep into the jungle somewhere and really live and really challenge yourself, really push yourself and really explore the world or explore life. Yeah. I feel like you're a big time traveler too, for some reason. But what are we doing with this ace today? What is the impulse, right? What is, I feel like for you, every day is different. Okay, what's today going to be? Let's find out. Let's put it into some context. The Ace of Wands really says that you can do anything you want right now. That all you have to do is think of an idea and it's already in motion. What's the next card here? Yeah, see? 9 of Pentacles. All you have to do is have that impulse and it's already materializing in your life. You're already attracting everything that you need for it into your life. Maybe you already know what your Ace of Wands is. Maybe you already had that great next idea. This is everything you need coming to you. This is gain. This is you gaining the right resources, gaining the right people, the right timing, the right situations, the right raw materials, you know. Everything you need is coming to you. You're magnetizing, right? Everything is coming in here. And so I feel like as soon as you kind of commit yourself, as soon as you make the intention, as soon as you speak the words even, maybe even before that, right? You feel the intention. You feel that Ace of Wands within you. As soon as that happens, everything starts coming toward you. You start the universe in motion just with your intention. And that's magic. This is fire to earth, right? I always talk about that on this channel. Maybe last year we kind of talked about it more than we do this year, but fire to earth is that spiritual electrical circuit of creation, right? It is impulse to behavior, will to action, inspiration to implementation, right? Idea to manifestation, heaven to earth, inside to outside, right? fire to earth. This is it. And it starts with an Ace of Wands. It starts with just that impulse. And now the Nine of Pentacles, it's practically already completed. It's just one step away from physically manifesting before you. That's how instant this is, right? So in some ways, the Nine of Pentacles is saying, we've got everything coming our way, everything we need, but maybe there's one thing we're still waiting for. Seven of Swords down here now. What is it? What is the one thing we're waiting for? Well, I think that in some ways you're waiting for someone to tell you no. You're waiting for some sort of obstacle, some sort of roadblock, right? The Seven of Swords is you're on this central sword. You're on that ace, right? You're on that intentional path with purpose, with intent. And it's kind of like we're waiting for the enemies, we're waiting for the criticism, waiting for somebody to tell me no, waiting for something to come stop me. It's like, this can't be so easy, right? So you're kind of expecting there to be some sort of challenge. And it could be that we are invoking that challenge by kind of wondering why it's not here, you know. It could be that we're starting to have a little bit of doubts, and it's almost like, wow, this is so easy. Maybe I don't want to do it, right? The only thing that interferes with that fire to earth process, that electrical circuit of creation, the only thing that interferes with that is the heart and the mind, the air and the water, right? Fire to earth is what we want, but sometimes the thoughts can wedge themselves in between, and now we've put a delay on things. And it could be that you're one step away from manifesting this original intent, and you're starting to have some other ideas, thinking, maybe I want to go a different direction. Maybe it's kind of like, well, if nobody's criticizing it, if nobody's telling me no, then maybe this isn't such the big idea that I thought, right? A lot of different thoughts can occur in this process. Let's see a little background information. Four of Swords. I feel like you just got out of a situation. You just got out of a relationship, or I feel like you just got out of some sort of a negotiation. Yeah. I was getting the feeling that I don't know, maybe it's a divorce, maybe you got out of a contract as far as a work thing, or maybe it was a book deal or a record deal or something, but I feel like you just got yourself out of that kind of binding agreement, right? We got the Four of Swords, and I kind of feel like people around a table negotiating and trying to reach a compromise. And it could be that maybe that's part of this situation with this electrical circuit of creation. I said that there's kind of one piece missing. There's one step left before it's fully materialized. And you might be thinking that, no, that was too easy. Maybe I'm missing something, right? You have this negotiation, and if the other side is just like too easy, too accommodating, so, oh yeah, you can have it, here you go. You think, wait a minute. Maybe I didn't ask for enough, right? You think you go into your boss's office, you ask for a big raise, and they say, oh yeah, here. You kind of leave, you're thinking, I should have asked for more. There should have been some sort of resistance here, right? We're expecting a Seven of Swords. I want some kind of a fight here. Because if it's too easy, then we start to wonder if we left something on the table, you know. So I feel like there's something like that going on in your recent past, and I think that's influencing what's going on right now. But let's see what's up. What is it that we're trying to really accomplish? Well, Queen of Wands. I feel like we're trying not to react emotionally to things, really. I think that you're trying to activate your very best self. I think that you're trying to, if this is some sort of a negotiation, obviously you want to walk away with the absolute best kind of circumstances that you can. You want to kind of rule over this situation, okay? And I almost wonder if you're kind of thinking, well, maybe you didn't set your sights high enough. You know, maybe you should have asked for more. Or maybe you should have applied for the higher position, or, you know, that we kind of set the bar too low for ourselves, and now maybe it's too easy. Okay. Let's see what's going on in the future position. Chariot card. All right, all right. We got some major arcana energy here. The Chariot card is a kind of, see, if we have the Four of Swords, and I'm thinking of, we're getting out of a commitment. We're getting out of a contract or relationship. The Chariot is kind of that knight in shining armor that's searching for something to serve, right? Searching for something to be committed to be devoted to, right? It's like you think of a knight in King Arthur kind of mythology. It's a knight without any sort of allegiance. It's just a wandering knight that doesn't really serve anybody or anything. It has no commitment or devotion to anything. It's kind of wandering aimlessly, right, with no real sense of purpose. And when you think of King Arthur's knights, they're all spread out everywhere, and they're doing all these quests and battles and stuff. But they all have their allegiance. They all have their sense of purpose. Yeah. And so I feel like this is kind of what you're looking for in life. You're looking for something to commit yourself to, something that you can fight for, something that you really that's going to mean something. And it could be really with this Ace of Wands and this Nine of Pentacles, it could be that you stopped a little bit short of having this complete manifestation of this idea, and you kind of, you're saying, well, wait a minute, no. This was not, something was too easy here. I'm going in a different direction. Maybe this is the dilemma that we have right now. If we want to put the final signature on this Nine of Pentacles, okay? Or if you're having second thoughts about your allegiance or your sense of purpose, and it could be that our Chariot is saying, well, I might need to go. And it's almost as if you're walking away from something that it's just about perfect, but it's missing something. Maybe it's missing that sense of purpose. Maybe it's missing that challenge. Maybe the people that are involved there are just kind of too willing to go along with things and not putting up enough of a fight, not putting up any kind of stimulating, we're not jousting about anything. There's no debate. There's no discussion. It's just too easy, right? And maybe too easy equals boring. Well, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're just going to set this one down over here. Mr. Tao, the yin-yang duck, right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free and it supports the channel, and I really do appreciate that. Let's check in with your general energy now. Path of the Serpent, we're going Five of Pentacles. Yeah. So it seems like we're interrupting ourselves when we're just about finished with something, and we are we're changing something, right? And I feel as if this might be something rather familiar to you. Okay? The idea that we walk away from something when it's just one last little, it's like you're building a puzzle on your table, just a picture, like a puzzle, jigsaw puzzle kind of thing. 1,000 pieces. One piece left. You're just about to put it in, you think, wait, no. And you scrap the whole thing and you jumble it all up and you shake it all up, and it's back to being a pile of puzzle pieces, a pile of cardboard, right? Why is that? Why do we do that? Why do we kind of undo something when it's so close to being finished? Maybe it's because if something does get completed and perfect and finished, it's the finished product, then we're left wondering, what's our purpose? What's our point? What's our reason for being here? Why am I here? Okay. So I feel like you like to have that day that's always different. You like to be that adventurer. You have always those good ideas. We jump out of bed in the morning, and I cannot wait to do something until that day where we jump up out of bed and we think there's nothing to do now. I finished the thing. I finished it yesterday. This really could be a transition from, from school to work, from work to retirement. It could be kind of putting the finishing touches on a project or a relationship even, taking that last final step to really manifest something concrete, physical, and feels permanent. It feels final, right? We'd rather live in the moment of change, of doing, of building, of the activity. We like the activity of things. And the Nine of Pentacles says that too, because it's a 9. It says that we like to stop before we get to the actual finish line. It's kind of like, I don't know. I remember playing like video games as a kid, and you've just about like beaten the game, right? Finished the whole game. And then you just hit the reset button on your old Nintendo. Yeah, that's how old I am. You hit the reset button on the old Nintendo and you start over from the very beginning. Because that's where the excitement is. That's where the fun is. You beat the game, and it's kind of like now I'm pulled out of that fantasy of that game. I've pulled my mind away from that. I'm no longer immersed in that, and it's kind of we're faced with this, who am I kind of feeling. Well, what am I doing now, right? Now I just got to clean my room. So we kind of have the tendency to get almost to the finish line of something, and we kind of turn around and go back. Or we just say, I'm done. And maybe it's just proving ourselves that we could get to the end. And then we walk away without actually having done that, without having crossed that line. Because we like the building of something. We like the doing. We like the activity. We like the excitement of the experience rather than that finished product or that trophy at the end. What am I going to do with this? Right? Because I think with the Chariot card, we're looking for a life that has fulfillment and devotion, that has a purpose to it. Let's see what's going on with your relationships. Hierophant. I wonder if there's a connection here with the Hierophant as that institution of life that says you are only as good as what you accomplish, as what you create. Libra, I feel you're a bit of a rebel. I feel like this is, not only is this something for you, that is kind of the way you approach life, but I also feel like you're making a statement. I feel like you're kind of saying that you reject this Hierophant. You reject this authority, this institution of life that says, that it didn't mean anything unless you get the trophy. It didn't mean anything, or you didn't do it, and it wasn't significant, or you didn't achieve anything or accomplish anything unless you get the trophy, cross the finish line, have that finished product. Right? And I think you reject that. Or I think right now you're rejecting that. Maybe this is the first time that we're experiencing this, but I kind of feel that it's sort of the way you are, You're a cardinal air sign after all, right? So it kind of is, we like the rush of that kind of beginning. We like the challenge. We like the we like the chaos. We like that middle part of the movie where it's in that we're reaching the climax, we're reaching the struggle. Everybody's trying to. I think of that movie. Gene Hackman, about the boat that's upside down, the Poseidon Adventure. I love that movie. I love Gene Hackman. Again, showing how old I am. But see, that's the movie where the whole thing is about that journey, that struggle. And you don't know if you're going to win or lose. You don't know what's waiting for you at the end. You don't know if you're going to get there. And then once you get right there to the hatch and you open up the hatch and the rescue workers are there, sorry, spoiler alert, it's kind of like, okay, the sunshine, it's the end of the movie now, but now what? Gene Hackman goes back to just being a regular old bloke, right? But the whole movie seemed like it was that kind of adventure. Yeah. And I feel like you reject the mainstream idea, that institution of value, of productivity, of feeling as if your efforts have to result in something tangible that has some sort of value that you can exchange for something else that someone else made, right? And so this 10 of Pentacles that we have, or that we don't have, right? We've got that 9. A 10 of Pentacles would kind of represent you conforming to the Hierophant energy, that authority of the universe that just says, this is the way things are. This is what you're supposed to do in life, you know? And I don't think you agree with that. So I kind of wonder if you have a bit of an issue with authority, or with the idea that if somebody kind of gives you, if somebody tells you you have to do something, you're not going to do it. Don't ever say that to me, right? Or if somebody gives you a quota, right? I think you prove that you can do it, and then you kind of willingly don't do it, right? It's very interesting energy. We get right up to the brink, and then we just throw it all away and just say, I'm moving on, you know? And it's a common motif. We see that a lot in literature and books and movies and in life, you know? I think it's the same thing if somebody tells you that you can't do something. You're going to prove that you can, but then instead of reaping the rewards of that, getting the trophy, or if it, especially if it's somebody else's reward, right? If it's kind of doing something for somebody else, earning something for somebody else, I'm thinking kind of like a work environment or something. Somebody says that you can't, there's no way you can, I don't know, that you can climb 100 feet up that mountain. Well, you'll hop, skip, dance, and jump all the way to 99, and then you'll just float down the hill, you know. Probably not the best example, but you get the picture. And I think that really is a rebellion against that Hierophant energy. The 5 of Swords, that's kind of the obstacle. Again, with the 5s, with the swords, with the active, 9, 7, 5, 5. The 4 is what we didn't want. The 10 is what we're kind of rejecting. The fixed earth energy is what we're rejecting. We want the 7, the movement of the Chariot, right? We like the activity. We like the function of life. The form is kind of a almost unfortunate necessity. Yeah. So the 5 of Swords really is, it's in the position of the obstacle. It's in the position of what we don't want, but I kind of think we do want it. In this case, I feel like this is what you want, but this is what you really don't need. And this is the conflict. This is kind of contrarianism in a way. And I'm not saying that you are a troublemaker or an instigator or anything like that. I feel like you have your own way of living life. And I think that it's full of meaning for you. And I don't feel that you have to prove that to anybody. The 5 of Swords is sort of that argument. It's kind of, it's almost that we want to go against the grain. And if there isn't some sort of criticism, or if we're not rubbing the world the wrong way, it must mean that we're going with the flow. And so then we hit the brakes, we turn sideways, because if it's too smooth and easy, then you're doing something wrong, right? There's got to be some sort of friction for you to really feel like that you're kind of following your commitment, your purpose, right? And usually we see things the other way around, right? Usually it's when there's friction, that's when you know that something's wrong. So we just kind of turn and we go with the flow of the water. I don't necessarily think you're trying to swim upstream. I think you're just trying to swim across the river and not just go pleasantly downstream with the rest of us logs, sticks and stuff. So it's that idea that the movement of life is really what lets us know that we're doing something. You're in a car, you're driving at a certain speed, very steady speed, very flat and smooth road. It doesn't feel like you're moving. There's some bumps, there's some turns, there's slowing down or there's acceleration. Now I feel like I'm moving. Now I'm kind of getting tossed about in the car, but I know I'm doing something. So I think you like the movement, you like the activity because it makes you feel alive, gives you that Queen of Wands feeling. We don't like the fixed and established things because the even-numbered cards, those are the nouns, those are the states, those are the forms of things that don't always readily show movement. Now we know whenever we get a 4, we're going to have a 5. Whenever we have a 5, we need a 4. We need force and form. We need the function and the structure to go with it, right? But we like the transition between the two. We like to move objects that are not moving. And those objects that are moving, we like to shake them up so that they're doing something. You think of something that's flying through space 1,000,000 miles an hour. If you're just looking at it, it doesn't really look like it's going anywhere. But if you put it into context and you start shaking things around, it's speeding up, it's slowing down, it's hitting some bumps. Now it looks like it's doing something, right? It's kind of that optical illusion in a way. And so I feel that's why we've got a lot of these kinds of cards. Now we've got the Eon card. There is transcendence here. There is you going through this doorway. I don't feel like this is just a frivolous kind of thing for you. I feel like you have a real intention. There's a real aim in all of this activity for you. And I don't know, I feel like it's some kind of a spiritual thing. This is the Eon card, judgment, rebirth, reawakening, the baptism by fire. This is that fiery doorway in front of you. I wonder if in some ways this is that doorway that kind of says, maybe it's time to stop doing this and listen to the Hierophant and start doing things the normal way, right? That could be a struggle for you to get yourself to go through that doorway. This might not be a decision we really want to make. If it's kind of time now where it's like, I gotta just conform and do things the kind of do things the prescribed way, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. If that is the doorway, I feel you kind of turning away from this doorway. I don't feel that this is, I feel like you see this and you're turning the wheel the other way, making the Yui. But this could be something else. This could be a way for you to reach your level of satisfaction and achievement and commitment and purpose and all that's fulfillment in a non-traditional way. And maybe going through this doorway is you figuring out how to kind of have your cake and eat it too. That it's not about just rebelling against the Hierophant energy, and it's not about conforming to the Hierophant energy. You're finding a different way. You're finding a way that's taking you outside of time and space to a completely different universe. I want to look at that mystery card because on the other side of this doorway, I don't feel, because obviously the Hierophant's not on the other side, right? The Hierophant's here. And we're struggling to get to this doorway because on the other side of this doorway, you are being reborn. Not as the conformist, not as the nonconformist. There's a third transcendent option, and I think it's in this mystery card. If this is the Hierophant, we'll kind of know the answer here. Maybe this is the Fool, right? Because the Fool and the Hierophant are very different energies, obviously. But the Fool is kind of lacking purpose too. Doesn't care about that. But I feel that you do. I feel like you're trying to establish a life that is happy and healthy and meaningful and satisfying and full, right? But not in that traditional conformist kind of way, not in that institutional way. So at least what I want to see in this, it's either going to be the Hierophant or it's going to be something water energy. We don't have any. You notice? We don't have any cups here. because I feel like that's what we're searching for. I want to see cups. I want to see 10 of cups. 9, maybe 9, but 10. 10 to show that we're seeing it through till the end, that we're getting that satisfying life that we want. It's not just something we're going to stop short again, like the 9 of Pentacles, and say, I'm on to the next one now. I don't need to finish it. You know, and it's like you're building that model airplane, and you're about to glue the last piece on, and you just say, just throw it away, do something else. Yeah, I want to see a 10. I think it should be a 10 of cups. Let's see what we have. Oh my gosh. Look at that. 10 of cups. Yes. See, that is you living a life that is satisfying, fulfilling, full, right? One that you are very thankful for. One that is unique to you. Nobody else told you what you need to make you happy. You figured it out yourself. It's not by swimming against the river. It's not by going with the flow of the river. It's something else. It's like you're crossing the river altogether, right? And you're finding your own path to happiness, and it's through that Eon card, that rebirth kind of energy. Yeah, and so this is really something. This is that satisfaction of life that I think we all strive for. And you're finding it in your own very, very unique way. And I love that for you. Now we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Libra every Wednesday and Saturday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.